Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Raven Rolls. It's been a while. I think it's been over a month since we last played, and I've been missing this. But yes, we will be switching our days to now to Saturdays for the next foreseeable future. And I think today was a little late, but I think we might be keeping the 8:30 start. We'll discuss that for next session in 2 weeks, but I'm ready to get going. I'll pass it on to Nathan.
What's going on, everybody? I am Nathan. I am with Dimension 119. Happy to be back in the shoes of Roy West, otherwise known as Owl. I'm excited to get started and get back into this game again and see if we can do a little bit better than we did last time. As Paul was saying before we started streaming, I think we did a little better last time than we did the time before. So maybe we can keep that a pattern.
Yeah, and DJ, you're up.
Yes, I'm DJ Hester from the Griffin's Nest, and excited to be back playing Buzzard, Echo Booker. Um, one thing I am excited about for sure is the physical copies of Starforged that it should be here around October, I believe is what they said. Been keeping up with the Kickstarter updates, and it's looking like it's going to be a awesome physical product when they get it here. Been enjoying the digital versions, that we already have, and I think the physical is just going to be that much better. Um, I believe you can check out at least the digital version of this on Drive Through RPG as well as Iron Sworn RPG. I think Iron Sworn RPG dot. Let me just check it real quick. Make sure I don't want to give a wrong URL. Iron Sworn RPG com. IronswornRPG.com. That's where you can find the original Ironsworn as well as the Delve supplement for it. And I believe the digital copies of Starforged as well are all on there. Um, so go support Sean Tompkin and Absolute Tabletop and their products that they've made. I'm excited about that. You ready for the recap? You want to go ahead and do that?
Yes, you can go ahead. I just forgot to say I'm playing Snipe. You can see our Snipe, and like the techie of the group. Yeah, I guess you can do the recap now.
Okay. So when we started last session, we had just parked our ship, the Poltergeist, in a crater in this asteroid that uh, the space pirates had built into a base of operation. And we realized that there was something living in this crater, and we had to get out, and we investigated, and we found that it was a large worm-like creature, and we had to take care of it. We ended up dispatching that and making our way through the caverns up to some access doors into um, the pirate base. When we got in, we found the loading bays where the cargo was loaded and unloaded from these pirate raids. We convinced these pirates that we were a group of pirates coming in to help load up the next ship and help its shipment, while Snipe went back around and flew our ship into the docking bay. We loaded all the cargo up in our ship, flew out, and then parked back in the same asteroid crater that we had just left. Because our goal for this session is to infiltrate the building again and rig explosives or help the reactor go critical so that we can blow this station up and get out safely with all this cargo so that we can start to dismantle this pirate system to cut the head off and see what happens. So yeah, that's I believe what we're headed for tonight.
All right, thank you for that, and guess we can start our next task. I think. Or are we still in the middle? We're still in the middle of some, I guess.
We had just parked the ship when I think the plan was for us to get back out and go back through the caverns, get back through that same access door, and then work our way. Because I remember that we had, while doing a tech roll on one of the um, terminals, we basically got a map of the whole facility, if I'm not mistaken. So we know where to go to get to the reactor maintenance room. And in terms of I think this this vow here. Once we finish this, we should have enough to make the roll, the progress roll, to bring down the pirates. I believe that is what we were.
Oh,
Um,
I think we still had the 2 progress bars. At least I still have the gain information about the pirates in the station progress bar and the board the
yes,
mothership. Did we actually complete those?
we completed the board the mothership one, but I still have the gain information as well.
Right. So
I don't. Maybe that was what we were gonna do. We were gonna start this section with this roll, I think,
I think if we
and
complete that, we have enough to.
to complete that, and then get to the reactor and complete that. Then we'll have enough to, because I remember we upped the difficulty of this task, so now we're only filling, I believe, 1 pip every time.
So the board the mothership one that you see at the bottom of my screen, that should be empty now.
That should be empty. We did that. We can just delete it.
And that's below the reactor now? Or
Yeah,
we don't
we'll
have
need to
one?
make. We don't have one yet. We need to,
Okay.
I think, finish this gain information one, which I think we did. Um, so let's just roll that. Um, I can go ahead and roll it here. And it was a weak hit. Let me see if I can figure out what to do on not Oracle's moves. Reach a milestone, I think. No, not reach a milestone. Finish an expedition. On a weak hit, you mark progress. So we will mark 1 box. Uh, but there's an unforeseen complication.
Oh,
Make the legacy reward.
what box are we marking if we're completing it?
Mark one. Mark a reward on your Discovery Legacies track. Um, but make it 1 rank lower. So we only mark 2 ticks on the Discovery Legacy track, which is instead of a whole box, we only get 2 ticks on this Discovery track right here.
Okay.
We're halfway to another level.
Oh, okay. So
We're
when
halfway to another to 2 more experience points.
so somehow they managed to get information on us.
Or our information was damaged or incomplete.
We don't know who
But
the higher ups are who
we don't.
authorized this.
Okay. So now that we've done that,
I guess we
I
won't know
believe
what information we don't have until
I
we have
think
time to look it
right,
over.
right. And I think this that means that this box we get one more progress marked on it because one of the milestones for this task was met by completing that progress bar.
Oh, we swear to bring down the space pirates pillaging.
Right.
Okay.
So we're one step closer to completing that goal by gaining information.
It's almost close enough to possibly complete if we decide to.
Right. But I think that if we can get this
Yeah.
explosive rig, then we should end up with enough progress in order to do this. So our next thing to do is undertake an expedition. We are going to undertake an expedition to blow up the reactor. That is our expedition. So we need to. It says when you trailblaze a route, through or survey a mysterious site, give the expedition a name and a rank. Then for each segment of the expedition, envision your approach and make a roll like this on it. So, so a new progress bar, gain information. This one's complete. So this one is blow the reactor.
Where do you find? Oh, never mind. Now I see where the delete.
Yeah.
I have to make the check mark there.
Yeah. Okay. And
So-
then what rank do we want to make this? I would say either troublesome or dangerous. It's a small task.
What do you think, Nathan? Troublesome or dangerous?
I kind of think dangerous
Yeah.
since we hit a weak hit on the other one and we're supposed to have
Yeah.
some kind of consequences.
Right. Because that'll mean instead of 3 progress every extra point, we'll only get 2. So the next thing then we need on this first leg of the journey, we need to make a roll. So are we going to move at speed, keep under the radar, or stay vigilant? I think keeping under the radar, right? We're trying to sneak back into this facility.
So, Owl, why don't you lead us?
Yeah.
All right. And so I'm rolling shadow. Let's see if I can use any of my stuff. Die to 5. Darkness make it 6. Um, let's just roll with what we are. I'm going to use my haunted though and get a +1
Okay.
and just kind of tap into this information that this person following me has and just kind of see it maybe heighten my senses a bit through it. Weak hit.
Okay. On a weak hit, we get to mark progress, but we either suffer costs in route, so make either a suffer move -2 or 2 -1 suffer moves, or we face a peril at the waypoint, envision what we encounter. So I think this is basically what happened last time. We're trying to get into the facility and a guard came around the corner. You had to like fight off this guard. So
Um, Remind me again about the stress thing because I have to endure -1 stress, but I know there's something else I can do instead, right?
So when you endure stress, you will lower it by however much. And then you can choose to resist it by making a roll. And you might can like negate an amount. Let me find it. Endure stress. Um Now did it say endure stress -1? Is that what it
Yes.
says? Okay. Then, if your spirit is 0 or you choose to resist the stress, roll spirit or heart, whichever higher. So your spirit's probably higher. So you'll roll um an other roll at 3. So set your
My
other to
spirit is
3.
2 right now. If I
Spirit is
take the
2 right now.
-1.
Okay, set it to 2 because it's still higher than your heart. Um, on a strong hit, shake it off and gain a spirit, or embrace the darkness and gain a momentum. On a weak hit, you are not shaken. You may lose a momentum in an exchange for a plus spirit. Otherwise, nothing happens.
I got to miss with a match.
On a miss, it's worse than you thought. Suffer an additional spirit or lose 2 momentum. If your spirit is 0, you must also mark shaken or traumatized or roll on the table.
I'm going to
You'll
have to
be at lose 2
momentum.
momentum. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. That'll work.
That's okay. I got you for momentum. I'm at a
Okay.
10.
Was it 6 starting out? I'm already back at 4.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't spend momentum for each other. I'm
Well,
at
that's why I'm
7
going to
right
take
now.
over. Yeah. Well, I'll catch a good roll.
Okay. So we have to figure out what our. Do we want to try to take a suffer move, or I think we just need to face some sort of peril? I think some sort of.
Well, is this roll mean we're at the reactor or we're on the way there?
This is the first step to get to blowing up the reactor.
Did
I
they
think. I
another?
think this is getting back into the facility from the caverns. That's what this.
Did we take care of that creature last time,
We did. There could be another one,
or are we
or
more guards?
there's more guards. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It's exactly the same as before. It's like deja vu. No.
So we need to figure out.
Somebody else can handle the guard this time.
I mean, I could try to use like a convince them with my heart. Is it heart?
Or you
I
could
could
just
try to um like not like shadow deceive them, but like heart empathize, like make them feel that we're all let's see, what would that be? A um compel, is that what it's called?
that sounds close
Compel.
enough.
When you try to persuade someone or make them an offer, envision your approach. If you're trying to charm, pacify, encourage, or barter, roll heart.
You just
So,
don't
I mean,
want
I
to
can make a
threaten.
heart roll,
You just want to threaten them.
or I could threaten them with iron, but they'll probably sound the alarm.
Well, you can tell if they sound the alarm, they're dead, and they, I don't know.
Because here's the thing: if I try to threaten them and I fail outright, they're gonna fight. If I weak hit, they will probably sound the alarm. So I mean, I pretty much have to strong hit or something else is going to hurt us somehow. I mean, I can try to stiff arm them, draw my sword, and try to intimidate. Let me see. What does my sword give me? Um, nothing there.
Oh, I forgot. When my momentum is at its max, I may attempt kinetic feats such as manipulating large objects or creating destructive bursts of concussive force.
Is that where yours is at right now?
Yep, that's what I can do, and then I reset my momentum after I do it. and it's an automatic strong hit. And if I'm in a fight, I mark progress too.
Mm.
But do we want to waste all my momentum on something like
Not
this?
on this. If we were in combat, maybe, but I mean, you might need that to blow this reactor.
True. That's going to be something large.
I can try to compel with iron and like stiff arm these guys and be like, let us through, or face this blade or whatever.
See, do it. I mean, we were able to somewhat stop it last time.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, we can always try to stop him again.
Right. Okay. So iron. My blade doesn't give me anything for this. So I think it's just a straight iron roll. Um,
Aiding or no?
strong hit with a match.
Oh, we
I don't
haven't
think
got
the
many
match.
matches. No.
I don't think the match does anything for this roll. Yeah, but I do get to take a momentum, and they do whatever we ask them to.
That's all good.
So they are like, and maybe I throw a little deception on, because we did convince some other guys that we were pirates, and so maybe I throw a little bit of that in there, like not that we're infiltrating, but that like get out of our way. We have someone we need to go talk to, or we need to, and maybe even because we did find out from that manifesto when we were looking through the information. We found out that Isaac Hadley from the city was working directly with the pirates. We found that out through our manifesto. So I could possibly even like name drop Hadley and be like, we're here, we were sent by him, or you don't want to hear from him, or something like that. Whatever we do, we get through, and I say, get out of our way. We have somewhere to be, and they maybe try to um, stiff arm us, and I draw my blade and be like, and I name drop. I say, we're here. We're sitting here from Isaac Isaac Hadley. Do you want to deal with him? And they realize, oh, we're sorry, and they back off and turn the other way, and we're able to get through. So we've overcome the obstacle here at this waypoint. So we're in the facility.
So that's progress on blow up the reactor, or is it mark
It
progress?
it is marked progress. Yes, blow up the reactor.
And as dangerous as that one?
Dangerous should be 2. Just click the mark button, and it will automatically.
Oh, automatic. Oh, there we go.
It'll set it to whatever you've got it set as. Yep. So we've made it through the first waypoint. We've made it back into the facility. So our next task, I guess, would be to get to the reactor room.
All right.
So
Since I don't think
that would be another um undertaken expedition.
yeah, I don't think that was going to be keep under the radar anymore.
No,
So I'm
no,
thinking,
they know we're here, but we've got some of them convinced that we're supposed to be here.
I think I could do a stay vigilant roll.
Okay, so like we're keeping an eye out, looking for people, but we're not moving too slow. We're just sort of
Yeah, it's
moving with purpose.
yes.
Okay, that would be a wits roll. That would be for you.
All right. So a witch roll. I don't have any bonuses for that. So witch roll. All right, let's do this. Strong hit.
Okay. On a strong hit, we reach the waypoint, envision the location, and mark progress per the rank on the expedition. So we get to mark progress. So we're at 4 progress right now. And then we've reached the reactor room. We've made it there. No one tried to stop us. So, and there's, according to this roll, there are no complications when we arrive. So,
Because we belong here. Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So now it's where do we want to, what's our next move? So we're here. We know we've got to do something to this reactor that will cause it to either go critical or to explode or something, but we still have to get back to our ship and get away from here before it happens. So I don't think I think the rolling the progress check on this expedition shouldn't be done until we're back on the ship.
So
That's
perhaps,
part of so now this task is going to be rigging the reactor.
or would explore a waypoint
So
come
if
into
we
handy?
explore a waypoint, that means that we're slightly deviating from the expedition and
Okay.
looking into a notable location, like where we have like a side quest once you get to this.
I was thinking, since we're at the reactor room, exploring around, seeing if there's anything to use to our advantage. But it also,
We can take a little detour. I mean, we're here, so I mean, and if we do well on this roll, we we can actually mark progress. We can actually gain
yes,
progress. Now, if we don't do well, it's a waste of time.
that's what I was thinking. Just to help us gain some more progress to be able to complete this.
Right. If we strong hit, we either find an opportunity and we gain like a bonus, or we mark progress. We find something useful and
Yeah,
we
I'm
mark it
thinking
progress.
maybe we find explosives here or a way into the system or someone left their
Um,
password on a sticky note. That's,
right. On a weak hit, we find something kind of interesting, but nothing crazy. And then on a miss, we actually pay the price. Like it's actually detrimental to us if we make a miss.
well, that's what I have the momentum as a backup.
Right. Right. You could burn and get us an automatic 10. So, and if we get a strong hit with a match, we actually make a discovery, which is a big thing. We've not done that yet. We've not made a discovery yet.
All right, so no pressure. Anyone want to help me?
Um, let's see. I guess I can try. That's a what's it called? Secure an advantage.
Age your out or age your ally?
I'm going. Well, aid your ally. One of the things for aid your ally is secure an advantage for them.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll. Maybe iron. Maybe like we have to convince some people that we're supposed to be here, like that we're supposed to be here looking around. So I'm going to sort of stiff arm and aggress our way through this. So I'm going to make an iron roll. We're playing the part of pirates here, and I got a strong hit. So on a strong hit, we you can't take 2 momentum because I think you're supposed to gain all the benefits
Oh,
of this roll.
yeah. I guess I don't.
You
I don't need
can't
to.
gain momentum, but you do get a +1 on this next move on this
Okay.
explore waypoint.
Can Owl also aid or just the one aid?
I think it's just the one. I'm not sure. Okay.
All right, so I'm rolling wits +1. Oh, am I? How am I doing this? Am I using
It's
gearhead?
automatically a wits roll.
Oh, but am I
But
using
take
gearhead?
gear. Maybe you're trying to like see if there's a gap in their system or like an extra information bank we could clue into.
Oh, I guess I'm. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Actually, no.
I
I
don't.
think gearhead. No, not yet. But I will use it to repurpose, I guess, the reactor into a bomb.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you're ready to, if we're
Actually,
gonna try to set it up to go critical, then Gearhead would work great for that when we get to that
Right.
point.
I think now
yeah.
I'm
So
just
right, I think
using my.
this is just a yeah.
All right, just using my brains here. Okay. Ooh, weak hit.
Okay, on a weak hit of what were we doing? Explore waypoint. On a weak hit, we uncover something interesting, but it's bound up in peril or reveals an ominous aspect of this place. Envision what we encounter and then take a momentum. Or you can burn your momentum and we can gain some progress.
Do you want me to use that now? Because I will be gaining the +1 later from gearhead for the next roll.
Because here's the thing: if we don't, we either gain some more interest, like notice some interesting information. If we take the roll as is, but we can either ignore it and ignore the peril, or we can delve into this issue, whatever this is, confront something, and then gain a little bit of information. Or we can ignore this and we say, "Oh, that's there, but that's like behind a firewall, or somebody notices us messing with it, or something like that." So
But we don't get. Right now on a weak hit, we don't gain progress, correct?
right. So this was if you don't use your momentum now, this was essentially sort of a time waster. We've wasted our time a little bit.
I think
Not
I think we need to use it because we have to go up on the progress bar. What do
because
you?
here's the thing: if we don't use it now, and then you go to rig this bomb and fail miserably, like it could blow up in our faces.
Yes, but we also need the extra progress. But right now, if something's complicated now, it might risk our progress later. We won't be able to gain more progress, or it'll be difficult.
I mean, I'm down for if you want to burn the momentum now. It'll just be a
What
slight. It could be a slight uphill battle on the next roll.
What do you think, Nate? Should we just take the chance, and it's a waste of time now, or do you think we should use momentum?
Um, where's our progress on that is at 4.
Or if
If
we
we make
burn the
2
momentum, we'll
more,
be at 6.
I think is 6 enough. I think we need to bring that up more anyway.
Well, here's the thing: we're gonna gain momentum from setting the bomb, and
Right,
we're gonna gain momentum from getting back to the ship.
that's true. So
So,
what I'm thinking is
so
if we get 2 ticks of progress from those 2, we don't necessarily need the 2 ticks from this
from
unless
this,
we
we'll be at
just want to
8.
shoot for 10.
Yeah, we'll be at 8 now. If we get all the way up, we guarantee success. I think the only way we can
I
fail is
think
if we roll 10s.
yeah, probably didn't need to do this because I forgot we're 2 more shots gaining progress to bring us up to an 8.
Right.
So
So
you
I
know
think
what?
just
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it.
so and now we can decide from now, do we try to pursue this? Let's figure out what it is before we decide if we want to like
What can we
so
find out in the reactor room?
we uncover something interesting, but it's bound up in peril or reveals an ominous aspect of this place. So
Do,
it's not like an obstacle necessarily, but it's like maybe we learned something that's bigger than we thought. Like we've already been learning things like
Uh,
Hadley and all this stuff. So like maybe it's another major like maybe this isn't the main mothership.
the thing I was thinking. I don't want to say too much because it spoils, but the briefest part of what I'm thinking, we recognize someone who shouldn't be here.
Okay.
Because I was,
I think I know who you're thinking of.
oh, I was not. I was just gonna make up someone. Who were you
Oh,
thinking of?
I was thinking the our friend that does the like taxi service.
Oh, he really shouldn't be here. How are we supposed to? He's the only person we have a bond with. I want to
Uh-huh.
improve it. I don't want to
Right.
scrap.
Well, it doesn't have to be him. We don't. We can say it's not him. But
Maybe he's here. Maybe we find out he's here because they picked him up. Like he's not here working with the pirates, but
maybe
he's
they've
crossed
captured
them
him.
Oh, but
and
now,
they brought him up here.
all right. So
And now we
That
have a
complicates
choice.
things.
option
Yeah.
one,
Go get him, or do we just say, well, we
casualty
gotta
of.
blow this place up?
So option one is it's our taxi driver. Option two, I'm gonna say someone from the academy, maybe another Ironsworn.
Is working with the pirates.
Yes. Basically I was thinking this is bigger than just one pirate ship because what I remember they're selling mundane goods, but they're also dealing with
Dealing with
the
with
precursor
Black Iron.
tech.
If I remember correctly, we also tied this to the black market ship as well.
Like yeah, like they're definitely dealing on Prism, like the black market planet. They're definitely dealing with Prism.
Because
So,
this is obvious because
or what if it's not maybe somebody from the academy? What if it's like a Forge official is here?
yes, that's what I was thinking.
Like what are they called? Who wrote this lore?
Yeah.
Um a I don't know if I have it in here or not. It might be in the doc.
That should be in the dock. I like that's what I meant. Someone higher up, so it goes beyond. So basically, this mission, instead of just being a one sector thing, it's going to keep us going beyond the pirates.
A um like a guardian or an adept.
And I'm trying to remember the Guardians.
So the guardians are like they're the military of like they're more like marshals, like they're like sheriffs. But see, there's not supposed to be a guardian in this sector because this is not a forge sector. Like we are specifically working outside of the forge right now. Like that's why we picked this region because it's not bound by forge laws.
because yeah, there's the original colonies that
Right.
each have a guardian. This area is separate from the colonies. It was
Right.
settled afterwards, and it's not under the jurisdiction of a colony, so it definitely doesn't need a guardian. Well, sorry, not that it doesn't need a guardian. It shouldn't have one
It
officially.
shouldn't have one officially. Or it's either a guardian or an adept. An adept is like the major magic users. Like the big time, the big shot magic users.
All right, so if we go with this route, do we want it to be someone from the militaries here, or someone from the adepts are involved? That's a good. That's a good thing.
So wait, what did we maybe the adepts so we know so the way that the academy works, like the lower level things are like engineers, couriers, grubs. That's the thing we went. That's what we went through in the academy. The next tier of the academy are the guardians, the healers, and the trying to remember exactly what adepts. Oh no, adepts are the information people. They're the people. They're the computer network people. That's who the adepts are. They're the
Oh, and we
information,
also, or the
like the
healers. Yeah.
Dune people. That like
Uh,
they're
the,
really
What
good with information.
the,
I don't
mi-
know how much we want to connect the pirates like to the overarching story, but what if what if this is a front for selling information if it's an adept? Like the pirates are selling these mundane goods so that people see them as pirates, but really they're dealing in information and secrets that aren't supposed to be spread around if we go that direction.
But who's like, is this an adept working under the like authority of the Forge, or is this a rogue adept? Like that's, and I guess we don't have to make that decision right now.
Well,
But
we don't know that yet.
so yeah, that's what we had. We had guardians were the military-ish
yeah, like
branch.
marshals,
The
they're
heal,
like the
yeah, healers, and the adepts were the knowledge, the skilled
they're
workers.
they're the ones that deal with the information libraries because there's no
Yes,
AI. They replace
exactly.
the
Yes.
AIs. They manually input data into the computer systems,
The
and
military
they
works decently well too if because then you could make the excuse that this is how these pirates are getting started in these different places. Because even though we're not in the forge, you know,
you
maybe they
think
have
maybe this is
connections
the
into the
Forge
forge,
or the Forge trying to like
control the
stiff arm
outskirts.
their way into this,
Yeah,
yeah, into this sector.
it could be that too. I like that.
I don't know if I wanted it to go full
I don't.
forge.
Yeah, I don't
A
think I
rogue
want the
group.
Forge to be the villain. I don't think I want the main government to be the villain.
Well,
I
and that's
think
why I was saying that if it's just if if there's scatterings of pirates in the forge, like in the that main area, that maybe this is just like a branch of the military that's kind of doing their own thing and allowing this to happen because they're being paid off. It's not
see, 'cause-
necessarily a full,
right.
it's maybe just this one regiment or even not
Because
a
here's
regiment, maybe it's
the
just one
main,
team.
yeah. Well, because the main thing about the Forge, I don't know because you weren't with us when we actually did the world building, but the main thing about the Forge is that there is no actual military presence. There are these guardians who are essentially like a marshal or like a sheriff that goes in and protects an area. And if they need muscle for whatever reason, they call the bounty hunters. So the bounty hunters are a private organization that the Forge uses as muscle when necessary. There is no actual formal military in the Forge.
What if this is just one marshal then and he's just dealing with these pirates? He's maybe he's not supposed to be. Maybe the
Maybe
forge
it's
wouldn't
a either
frown upon it,
either
but he's dealing with them
right,
for whatever reason.
whether he's a former marshal or a or like he's working in a like a joining set, sector trying to maybe he wants some of this precursor tech for his sector or something. He's wanting to collect it, and so having some of it come through to him, or maybe it's specific something he's looking for, like, and having them like pillage until they find it, kind of thing. I like that. I like having that we know that there's somebody looking for something in this sector. We don't know what it is. Somebody with some amount of power is sticking their nose where it doesn't need to be. I'm done for that.
So, how much information would we get from that? Because, I mean, it could we could
I
simply
think a
say
name. I think
that
all we
it's
get is
just
a
a
name.
marshal, and that's all we know. We don't know if he or she's
Well,
working with the pirates or looking for said item or what's
remember,
going on. We just know
Right.
we're in
I
the
think
we
that
know that's a
reactor.
marshal name, and that's it.
We're in the reactor. Unless someone's talking about him, I don't really see. We're finding
well, you're
documents, so we see him or hear someone talking about him. That's why I think seeing him
um
down here, he may not. They may not he may not recognize us, but we recognize because he's in a sort of uniform or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Because we're posing as pirates, so we're not going around, hey, we're Ironsworn. So he may. Well, right now, we recognize him, he doesn't recognize us. That could be worse if we try to do something.
Right. I just thought about this. Did we, as a group, as individual, did we decide what our iron is? What is our what did we pick as for the lore that we swear iron to?
Oh,
Totems.
yeah, totems crafted from, yeah, black iron.
So, like, we don't show iron, do we? We hide it, I imagine.
I'm thinking because black iron is not something you can easily forge. Can we forge it as Ironsworn, or it's something we found? That's
I think
basically.
it was probably a totem that we found that is like it's sentimental to us somehow in why we became an Iron Sworn. Whether it was passed down to us
I
or
th-
we found it ourselves. Since we're scavengers, we
yeah,
could have found it.
I think most of the black iron is related to the precursors, and
Right.
their tech is made of black iron. So we could a totem we found is either a non-working piece of tech or just a piece of metal that's not active tech, I
It's not
guess.
right. It's not turned into anything.
I
It,
It's a
it's
think
hunk of something.
I
I
could
was
be
just gonna make sure
wrong.
that like we weren't like flaunting our iron all over the place. Like, hey, we're Iron Sworn. You
yeah,
know.
No,
like
I
your
could
sword
be
is an iron.
wrong, but I think what I had down for like a totem was a bullet. Like I've got a like a
A black
black
iron
iron
bullet.
bullet, and that's it.
Okay. Like if it's some sort of like amulet or something, you could always tuck it so that it's not, visible.
And I
Um,
imagine even in this pirate ship, I imagine whatever we have, we're not walking around showing that we're carrying black iron around this pirate ship.
right.
Anyways,
Yeah, but even if it was someone saw it, they wouldn't say, "Oh, you're an Iron Sworn," because you happen to have a black iron
Right.
bullet. It's because there's black. It's. I think if it's actual tech, then yes, they would probably confiscate it
Yes.
because they're
Yeah.
yeah. But if it's just black iron, I'm
Right.
certain there's a pirate here who has black iron. He just hasn't sworn
Vow.
a
Right.
vow on it. So
So we
unless the guardian recognizes us, or we do something to expose ourselves, I think we should be safe in that sense. But
so then maybe we overhear a conversation. Maybe as we're coming in and starting, maybe he's in the corner talking to somebody. Maybe it's a tech or um, maybe like a lower level, like officer or whatever. I don't know what their power structure is, but and he's not happy about something that's going on. He's not happy with the way they're handling certain things, and they're not finding what he wants fast enough. Just get little bits and pieces of it, but we don't really know what's going on. And maybe by the time he like notices that other people are in the room, he like takes the guy and they leave. Like they go somewhere else so that we don't get a whole conversation out of it. We just see him. We look at each other like that's maybe we even know him. Let's because I imagine it's probably a close sector, like a sector near where we're at. It's not like he's not from all the way across the forge. So let's
since we haven't named all the sectors, we could name one.
you name a sector and I'll name him.
All right. So that's under the Oracle.
Oracle's
Space
planet
region.
sector name, yeah.
Hold on. Or planet. I
There,
guess
there was a sec. You could do a planet. There was a sector name roll there if you wanted to do that. But region. This is how close to the. We're out in the. Did we? Let's see. I think we decided where we are roughly. We're in the Outlands. So
oh, here we go. Sorry, sector name.
set it to Outlands. like go roll the region and set that to Outlands. There you go. Then roll a second one.
Oh, let's roll again.
Yeah, roll again. Now that you changed the second. Igneous Pit.
Ooh.
I don't know that I like that one.
No, I don't like
Not for a sector.
Name to save for later. For
Nvidia.
Yeah, I know. Nvidia Crown. Like, yeah.
No. Let's try one more. Lacuna Shoal.
Lacuna. I'll let Lacuna show.
All right.
Okay, I'll write that down in the doc.
And it's in the Outlands. Right. So let's say Lacuna is an ocean planet.
Neighboring shoals makes it sound like it's probably neighboring sector.
Do you want to?
Shoals. And then I rolled for the marshal of this sector. Or so if Lacuna Shoals is the sector, then name the planet. Because he would be the marshal of a specific planet in this sector.
Okay, so
Yeah, you can set it to an ocean world.
pelagic. No.
I'll do it again.
Mira.
Mira. I like Mira. Let's go with
Okay. Mira.
Planet. Mira. Ocean world. And then the marshal's name I rolled was Alex Nadir. And maybe we do know him because maybe he was still in the academy when we started, and then we heard that he became the marshal of a specific sector. You know, we heard, and we've probably dealt in that sector before in our career work. So, so we probably recognize him. We definitely recognize he's probably wearing some sort of like patch on his coat that denotes his status as a guardian. And
Okay.
then
So I have atmosphere is breathable. It's an orbital. Actually, you know what? Planet-side settle. I think there were multiple settlements. So I'll go with that. On scattered islands, but the one of the features is roaming icebergs.
it's like a cold. It's a cold ocean.
Yes, so the roaming icebergs will probably cause a problem for him, and maybe that's why he's looking for something.
We can dig more into what exactly is going on as we pursue further. But we learn this. You can gain. Well, you can't gain a momentum because you're at full. So we're back in the reactor. We've got our side quest done. So the next thing we need to do is make another waypoint. Now this waypoint, this one, undertake an expedition. This next leg of this expedition is going to be rigging the explosives. So,
I guess that's me again.
probably.
So what would we say that is?
You just make the undertake an expedition roll because this is the next. We are basically, yeah. So you'll make in vigilant. It's probably going to be a wits roll, and we're going to call it a tech roll. So you are using your gearhead for this. So you're messing with the controls here in the reactor room, trying to set it so that we can get out, get enough. We can get back to our ship and get away before it blows.
Will I have any help with that?
Let's see.
Or maybe it's Owl's gonna help me
Yeah,
this time.
um so what's a way that Al would help? Which obviously we want him to use his shadow attribute if he can, but like what about deception or stealth or trickery is going to help you rig an explosive? Because otherwise it's best to like maybe pick a different stat. What are your twos?
Well, it's securing an advantage. It is shadow. So deception, stealth, or trickery.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How can we spin that so that he's helpful to you and still use shadow? Otherwise, we need to try to pick a different attribute.
The only thing I can see for that would be is if we need some kind of equipment and he needs a piece of wire or, something to add to this to make it, a timer or explosive or a timed explosive or whatever. And I have to wile that away from someone. I also have a 2 in edge or a 2 in wit. So I could use expertise, focus, or observation. Just kind of
You could
like
just
be a
assist
second pair
him
of
with the
eyes.
yeah. I don't mind that. That would be fine if you just like roll wit and like just be like an extra pair of eyes. Like maybe you're on a separate console looking for the right controls or
Well, yeah. I guess to even though we're putting it on a delay to self-destruct, you need two people. Almost like you need two keys for the nuclear device.
right. Okay.
Are you using
So
hunted for that? Sorry, haunted, not hunted.
do you think your haunted would help you with this? Or because I mean you know more about it than we do, which is fine. But do you think that that would be something that
I don't think so. Um,
okay?
I don't think it would fit there. So I guess we're just rolling straight wit.
Okay.
Strong hit.
Okay. So strong hit. He would gain 2 momentum, but he can't. And but we you do get a +1 on your roll. So +1 on this undertake the expedition roll, with an additional +1 from your gearhead.
All right then. So +2 wits roll. A weak hit.
Okay, so a weak hit is going to um, get us there, but with an issue. Or you could dump your momentum, and we can just get out.
A strong hit. Um, yeah, envision the. And then I gain moment. Oh no, I don't gain. Mark progress.
On a weak hit,
Yeah,
we make progress, but we either suffer or we face a peril.
yeah. But on a strong hit, it's basically you mark progress.
We mark progress. That's right. We
Yeah,
do
with
we
no
succeed.
without cost. What do you think? Should I save it or should we?
Because you can't spend your momentum on a progress roll. You can only spend it on these
But
normal attacks.
we have one more roll to do, and that's
We have to
actually
get back.
we have to get back and yeah, blowing it up is the progress roll.
Right. Who has
So
the highest edge?
no, but two I think is what
I think
we both have it.
Owl, y'all both have 2.
Yeah.
Because I think that our last roll is going to have to be a speed edge roll. We're going to have to book it back to the ship.
Yes. Because yeah, we can't be slow about it. We just have to leave. So what do you think? Face the peril now, or save it because the edge roll won't be that. It's not going to be the best.
Personally, I think it's probably better to save it, um, since no one has above a 2 in edge. If we're gonna be using edge to get back to the ship, um,
So should we?
that's just my thoughts.
But that's the problem. Is should suffer a move -2, the next move is going to be that roll, is it not?
No, a suffer move is like endure
Oh,
stress,
sorry.
endure heal.
Sorry,
That's a
right, right,
suffer
right.
move. The red, it's the red moves in the rules essentially.
Right,
These
right,
are
right.
suffer moves. So we either take a suffer, so like we endure stress
Stress
at
is
a
the harder one.
-2, or we endure two different stress, like a stress and a harm at each at a 1. Like
To regain
we,
stress is to socialize, essentially,
yes,
which I'm not good at. I remember. So, and
a
harm,
heart roll. Yeah.
in the harm, to restore your health.
Yeah, it's a heal is a if you receive treatment from someone that's not an ally, it's an iron roll. If you do it yourself, it's either iron or wits, whichever is lower. If one of us does it, then it's heart, or if you are the one providing the care, then it's a wits roll.
If I do it to myself, it's a wits roll.
Yeah,
So yes, okay. I'm gonna.
whichever's lower, iron or wits, whichever's lowest.
Oh,
Lower.
oh, lower.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
You bend yourself, it'll be a plus. What you'll want if you need to heal, you'll want me to do it and use heart.
right.
I
Which
have
is
a two in heart.
okay. So that's better than rolling. I think it
So
was
what you can do is you
heart.
can endure harm at a -2, and then roll to resist the harm, which is a where you will roll either your health or your iron, whichever's higher, and your health will be higher because it'll be 3.
Okay, so I'll take
You'll take 2,
two health. So I have a 3 now.
and then you'll roll that. So you'll roll 3. So go if you roll you click other, set other to 3, and then click other. Make sure you click the other that, yeah. So that is what you're rolling to resist.
All right. So roll plus attribute.
Yeah.
A weak
No,
hit.
yeah. So on a weak hit, you are not wounded. You may lose a momentum in exchange for a +1 health, or you press on. So you either stay at 3, or you can go up to 4, but you'll lose a momentum.
I think we wanted to keep it 10 for in case 10 is better than a 9. So I think I'm going to leave it at a 3 for now.
Okay. So with that happening, we do get to mark progress. We've rigged the explosive. Maybe you got shocked in the process, or yeah, you were trying to connect wires and they arced, and they gave you a real like a
Yeah.
big kind of a major jolt, like it was.
I have an electrical burn.
Yeah. So the last thing we got to do is get back to the ship.
All right. So
It's an edge roll.
I guess this is me again because I'm the one with 10
You're
momentum.
the one with the momentum. So
All right. So edge roll. Am I being assisted in some way or no?
well, because you have the momentum, I think that
Don't need an assist.
you don't need the assistance. So you'll either succeed or you'll dump your.
True. Okay, so that strong hit with a match.
Okay. Hey, a strong hit with a match is actually
Wow.
nothing for this. Too bad you couldn't have rolled that on the last
I
when we
know.
explored the waypoint. Okay, so we make it. We get there. We mark the progress here. So we're at 8 progress. We're back at the ship. This reactor is rigged to blow. The only thing left is to click this button. Who's going to click it? Because we've all got it pulled up. So who wants to actually roll the progress roll in this? Because it's just rolling against the progress track.
You want to do it, Nathan?
I got a weak hit.
Weak hit. Okay. So on finish an expedition, on a weak hit, we finish it, but with an unforeseen complication. Mark the legacy reward track a rank lower, so we get to fill that half rank that we filled earlier. This is the legacy reward track. I think I might have marked the wrong.
Oh, discover. We did discoveries last time.
Oh, did we discoveries last time? Is that what we
Yeah.
did on the?
Yes. It wasn't supposed
that
to be.
What did we? Was it It was finished an expedition. That's what we rolled last time. Mark the legacy reward track one rank lower. Mark your discoveries legacy reward track. Okay, so it is still discovery.
So it's now full.
It's now a full. So we have a full. So we basically have 2 more level up points, like experience points to spend.
Oh, I'm gonna use. I need to use that.
So there's some sort of complication. Maybe what do you think? Maybe it wasn't a 100% successful explosion. Maybe we didn't fully destroy this place, but we just set them way back or something. Maybe the explosion wasn't as big as we wanted it to be, or was it too big? Did we end up with some sort of shockwave that we were trying to avoid?
Well, that's a good question. So yeah, the ship is destroyed. It's they could probably salvage some of it, like salvage stuff, but not recover the ship because it was a one of a kind.
Yeah.
It wasn't a common make of
Right.
ship. So
What if a bunch of the like smaller ships, the cargos and the raiders, what if they all got off before it exploded?
yeah, it wasn't one big boom. It was a chain.
Yeah,
of
and
stuff.
there was alarms that that they were able to get to the ships and get off. So like the important people made it off. Like we didn't actually take down anyone super important.
Yeah, it's almost like the core will self-destruct. Please.
Yeah. Right, core overload,
Yeah, it's not something that just went boom. It was like a gradual buildup that they couldn't stop, and
Right.
people escaped.
So like I feel like this Alex Nadir, he made it off. And
out of character, I want that to happen.
yeah,
In
yes,
character, we'll see.
Right. But I think he makes it off. I think some of the higher up sort of head pirates probably all make it off. So like we've set them back. We've kind of put a hitch in their plan because their main ship is destroyed. But they still have enough infrastructure to function. They'll find a planet or a station or something to set up camp on. Where they can live out of their ships or whatever.
Well, they may not do. Maybe we stop them. They're not going to do this on this scale, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop piracy in general.
Right.
But I think we stopped. I think we succeeded on this.
Right. So that means that so by doing that, we
mark
progress here.
We swear to bring down the pirates.
Swear to bring down the space pirates, pillaging Solana Flux, which is the sector we're in. So
I would like to roll that. I think.
Okay, we roll that.
Yeah.
Then and we succeed. Then we have stopped the pirates from raiding this specific area, or at least go somewhere else.
Well, at least on the scale that they were doing,
right?
We just that operation is now there.
We broke the organization,
right?
So you want to roll this one then?
Oh, sure.
I rolled one.
Strong hit.
Strong hit. Okay, so this is Let me read. Let me go up here and read this. This is fulfill your vow. This is big. When you reach the end of your quest, roll the challenge dice and compare to your progress. On a strong hit, your vow is fulfilled. Mark a reward on your quest's legacy track per the vow's rank. A tick, two ticks, a box. So this will be a box on the um, quest legacy track.
So one full box, you said?
A whole box. Um, that's it. That's what we did. We completed it. So,
So it's good. So that's 2 more experience points.
yep.
All right, now I feel like we've accomplished something. After the
Yes.
few
We
setbacks.
finally made it through the first story arc. I mean, unless we want to try to figure out some sort of. I think what we need to do now, I think we need to go confront Isaac Hadley. Or we can go over our spoils. That's the other major issue. We have no idea what we've got in the back of the ship.
I think we should find somewhere a little more safer to do that. But yeah, I think we can find somewhere to hide out and see what we have at least, and go over the. Oh, we have downloaded information, did we not? Let's see
We
how.
got some amount of information. That's where we. I think that's how we've discovered the thing about Isaac. We like in scanning that we saw his name.
Right.
Like we didn't get all the details, but we realized that he's more involved than we thought.
His name was mentioned a few too many times to be a coincidence, and though it doesn't say he's part of the pirate organization doing this, this, and this,
Right.
we don't know that yet.
Okay. So here's how much more do we want to do now that we've kind of hit a major milestone here? How much more do we want to do in this session?
We've only been playing for a short while. I don't know.
We've been playing for about an hour.
Yeah.
We have a reason to confront Isaac Hadley since we've marked that vow off, or do we
Um,
have a reason why we don't just kind of like
ignore it.
epilogue it?
We could epilogue it. I think I think the reason that we would confront him is because we as scavengers and couriers and we enjoy working in this sector because it's less restricted.
Do we want to
Um,
start another
vow.
vow for that? Of
Um, I don't know that we need to to swear another vow yet. I think once we find a major like because here going to talking to Isaac may draw us more to this Alex character, and that could be our next
I
major
think
vow.
this arc is wrapped up. We should decide. I think what go through our spoils and what information we have and decide what we have, and then maybe that'll lead us to decide on what our next story arc is going to be. If we at least do this maybe another, I don't know, at least another hour or something that we can. So we wrap up the session, do like bookkeeping sort of thing, and then we can decide where we're gonna go with next session, what we're gonna do.
Right. So I think the first thing we need to do, we need to find somewhere to sit down and go through this information and go through this cargo that we have.
I think with them scattering, they're not really looking for us at this point.
Right.
So we
Right.
just find somewhere to hide off, like with just hide the ship and not land anywhere. Just hide somewhere.
Just yeah, and I think that's. I think we can do that. I don't think that really.
Yeah, no, it's not as a role. It's just that's just something.
Yeah.
It just makes sense that we find somewhere to hold up while we go through everything and see what we have.
Okay. Um. Is there? I'm trying to see if there's like a roll table for like
So
stuff.
I can delete. We swear to bring down the pirates. Correct.
Yes, we have completed that vow.
So the blow up the
So
reactor.
the only vows we have right now are our personal vows.
Correct.
And we shouldn't have any progress tracks.
Right.
We got to figure out how to use clocks. Clocks are like for long-term like things. They're for like over like long, not like immediate progress type stuff. I don't know how to use them yet.
My vow is a vow to determine the purpose of this alien tech I found on the scavenging trip.
So you have a piece of tech.
Yes.
And I think that's sort of is that your piece of iron that you swear on?
No, because the iron is not going to be a usable. It's like a piece of metal. This is an actual tech. I probably have just a piece of broken machinery or something, and like a spent fuel cell coil, whatever type of thing.
There's no oracles in here for like items. So do we want to just pull up some sort of sci-fi like donjon type table or something? Go to donjon. Science fiction. Um,
Well, the question is what do we want it to be? Like, we could just say we have some information on the side if it's enough to pursue. Like, if since we disrupted them, there are no local authorities here. Well, a Solana Flux, we could. Can we give some of this information to the local pseudo government and let them deal, like, to know who was a pirate if they come back on planet, and not worry about it because there's no real law enforcement here, or
my thing is that we know the only name that we know of that we've either dealt with or we know as a big name in Rhiannon specifically is Isaac Hadley. And because of that, I feel like we know that he's supposed to be one of the major businessmen that runs the city.
yeah, because I guess this area, it's not so much that there's no laws. It's basically don't screw with someone else, or like honor
Right.
among thieves, but they're still legitimate businesses. They just don't want rules and regulations to get in the way.
Right. But because Isaac Hadley is supposed to be representing one of these major corporations that has the city functioning, if he's doing shady pirate stuff, then that jeopardizes the whole function of the city.
I thought he wasn't. I can't remember. Did we found out he was?
No, that's what we discovered is that he was involved with this.
Oh, right.
We knew that his guards were paid off by the pirates to keep us from getting to him, and we at first thought that was so that we wouldn't warn him about the pirates. But now we know it's actually that he was trying to keep us away from him because he didn't want us to know that he was involved with it.
You know what? I think just for story purposes, we say we've transmitted modified documents, as in, like, we don't have to give him everything, but just enough to have that. Here's the proof that Isaac was involved with the pirates and profiting off of stealing from all of you. So let them deal with it.
Like we tell the other corporations.
Yes. Anonymously, of course.
And then let them handle him.
Yeah, we could always decide if we ever want to come back here and see how the
what the aftermath
landscape.
was.
Yes, and we can push that aside for now. And I think basically, I think is if once we restock and everything, we either decide if we're going to improve our bond with the our taxi guy. If not, I say I think our next progress, story wise, is leaving the sector.
And going back to the forge.
Either going back to the forge to report on this one, but maybe we don't have enough information.
Well, I think that the next thing, like based off of also what kind of haul we got here, because we got to do something with it. We don't need to just carry all this stuff around. We either need to offload it somewhere, like sell it, try to figure out if we can figure out whose it was. Because I mean, I don't know necessarily feel like we need to try to.
Well,
More than likely, who this stuff belonged to probably didn't survive the attack.
well, it's not so much. The question there's no money, like no money involved in this setting.
Right.
So
Like,
we could just say that
if
we've. I
we
think
recovered it and we're going to sell it for ourselves at a fair price. And now there might be something in this stuff that we like. If there's any, we did. I think we determined that there was some amount of black iron type precursor
yes,
tech in this stuff
because because they were dropping it off at the
at
black
prison.
market Prism. So we can say the mundane stuff maybe we took some time and dropped it off at various colonies, no charge. Like they come in, refuel, food, like basic supplies, stuff like that, just simple trading. And then, but we have to decide how much precursor tech. But that I think the way we've been doing that is when we add an asset, we consider that precursor tech. As long as we know, like,
That's part of that.
as
I
long
think
as
also, like, you've got your vow that like this could possibly like push you towards your vow, like determining the purpose of this tech. Or here's a, you know,
yes,
so like,
but that's more
and then
story.
my goal is like if there is a bunch of raw or like useless tech or whatever that is just black iron, that goes towards my goal of trying to provide more like, and mine's more so like trying to find a place where we can like mine black iron. Like I find a vein of it somewhere. That's really
Yeah,
what my goal is.
that's a good quest to look more into the precursors. I think.
I think the next thing we should do, next major thing we should do, is let's go just look for like ruins and like old settlements that aren't like fully inhabited, or like maybe go like on a planet but go where the cities aren't, that kind of stuff,
So,
and do some scavenging. Like that's what we do. That's what
right.
we're supposed to be, scavengers.
I think
So
what you're saying is that we don't have enough information on this guardian, so
to
we should
pursue
just
it yet.
to leave it on the back burner for now.
Right. And if in due time, if we find the opportunity for like, hey, this might be a time that, hey, there's that guy again. And why is he here? What is he doing? And then eventually it's like, okay, now we need to look into this. But right now, we've completed our goal. We've satisfied our own iron vows for bringing down the pirates. We've got
Uh,
some stuff that we need to take care of. We sent that stuff off to Isaac. Now we need to go do our jobs. I mean, we're couriers and we're scavengers, and we
uh,
got to make money somehow.
Nathan, what's your vow? Oh,
I was fixing to ask how we uh, make progress on those because mine's right the wrongful death of someone.
Okay. And you need to make sure those vows, the like our major like personal vows, need to be set at either, I think it said either extreme or epic.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh,
So I set mine at epic. It's like this is a long term, like even in the course of this story, we might not actually complete these vows. This is the reason we are
well, Nathan, you can either do you know? Maybe you don't know. Did you cause the death, or did someone else? Or you
I
don't?
haven't really decided yet. I was thinking just now, it occurred to me that depending on how it goes with this Alex guy that we just connected with, if maybe he was involved somehow.
I,
But
that's what I was thinking
not
too.
deciding that now, but maybe deciding that later on down the road based on roles we have later. Just kind of
Right.
keeping that in the back of our minds just in case,
Well,
because it may
the
come
way
up
we
a
make
better
progress,
opportunity later.
the way we make progress is with this move here, reach a milestone. When you make headway on your quest by doing any of the following: overcome a critical obstacle, gain meaningful insight, completing a perilous expedition, acquiring a crucial item or resource, earning vital support, or defeating a notable foe, you mark progress per the rank of your vow. This works for any vow we make, but specifically answer your question, like if right the wrongful death of someone, like if we encounter somebody who is involved with that, or we encounter a location where something, if we go back to maybe like your home world or something like that, that's where this stuff will come in. Like with this precursor tech, if we find something, we decide that we find something in this stuff that we have that's helpful to making your tech work, then you can mark some progress.
I,
And it literally is basically you decide, I think we I think that I have made some progress. I will mark progress. That's essentially how you.
I think what might be an idea. We've accumulated a lot of stuff between knowledge and resources that we could all theoretically all mark progress and say we've there was enough precursor tech to help me figure out a little aspect of this alien tech, or there was enough uh,
Information about maybe a possible, maybe in some of this information that we've gotten, there's like, or maybe even something we've overheard Alex talking about or something, that there's a hint that we might have, maybe this is where we decided to go, is there's the thought that there might be some sort of alien precursor or black iron or something at a specific location, and maybe that's like, oh, I think we need to go check that out because that could be really useful, like to go find black iron or old tech, or if we found like a derelict ship, or if we that all of that would be useful. Now I don't, you know so like I'm down to just mark, especially because they're set to epic. It's only going to mark like one tick, like a fourth of a box is all it's going to mark. So like,
yeah, that's why I think we should all be able to mark some progress. Maybe some of that information, maybe that name stuck with you, and say that name. If he's willing to do this, he's associated with that person who died. Maybe so. Maybe you think it's a small connection.
Well, what if
like
the precursor tech that we found have in the ship now is how Paul makes the progress for his? It has something to do with his tech that he
yeah,
has,
he finds a
and
piece
then
that goes with his thing. Like is like,
yeah,
hey, this these fit together. You know,
and then
The opposite
what
of
we
Star
heard
Trek, where they were
Alex,
putting that alien tech together, and it fits into something.
and then what we heard Alex talking about maybe connects loosely to mine, but also connects to maybe heard him talking about a look. We just heard like the phrase black iron and got a location, and we jumped to the
yeah,
conclusion that says, hey, maybe that's a black iron mine that they found.
a black iron mine, or like just a large deposit of like precursor tech that's made of black iron or something. So like, yeah, I'm down to mark one tick of progress on that track. We've got some seeds to like definitely like sow into more stories.
Yeah,
What we marked a tick on the quest track. What is
Yes.
does that just give us experience?
Yes.
Why? I mean, I understand why we have the bonds, but I don't
So
understand the purpose of
quests
having a quest and a
so
discovery.
so quests are for vows, discoveries are for expeditions. They're basically like the small like encounters and things like that you have. That's your discoveries. Your quests are specifically your vows, your iron vows. Uh, and then the bonds are the people in the relationships and stuff.
Okay, so I don't know if it's necessarily supposed to work this way, and feel completely free to be like, well, that's not in the rules or whatever. But my thoughts are, if like it's take I've only played a couple sessions with you guys, but you guys played what 3 before I joined, and we just now marked our first
So,
quest on the quest track.
yep.
Um, what if every time we mark a tick on the quest track, if we can make sense of a connection to our main personal vow, then we can mark progress on it.
I think so, and I think that even along the way, like if one of us thinks like, "Hey, this would be a good time to like delve into Owl's backstory and his like this moment really works well for this. Let's he can you can mark your own personal progress that we don't mark, and then maybe
Yeah, it
we
doesn't
can
I
have
find
to be
think
yeah.
limited to
if
just
But I
yeah,
marking the
agree
quest
that like
track,
when we
but
do finish a major quest, we find some way to connect it to our quests. I like that.
yeah, I
because
feel
that's
like
if there was a DM, they'd probably work all the storylines in together, and
Right.
that's what we're doing. We're working
We're
all
just
the
doing
story.
it collaboratively, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think as long as
So
you're not every session. Yeah, I'm marking progress. But here's the thing. Sure, you could complete your vow, so you have to come up with a new vow then, or you're no longer an Ironsworn. So you're either making a new character or you're picking a new vow. So really, all
right,
it does is potentially give you some more experience, and
right.
well,
it's not a huge deal.
like DJ said, anytime we mark progress, at least mine and his are epic. So we're only getting
Yeah, I think we're
one
all set
tick,
epic.
one
Yeah,
dot
Yeah, so I mean, I
every
don't think
time.
we might not even ever complete those vows
right.
at while in the time that we play. Now, our characters in the world would then go on to then later hopefully either do that or they might die. Who knows? But, you know, we will do as much as we can. That is sort of just a framework of who our character is and why we do what we're doing. But then we'll just take the the story as it goes.
So
So let's take. You want to take a quick break, and then what do we want to do when we come back? Since we've sort of
well, I think we could just level up and end. I don't know if you
okay,
want to end or do you want to start the next. Uh,
I think we'll go ahead and level up and end, and then maybe make a decision. Maybe we go ahead and roll up the next location that we're going to.
that's what. Yeah, I finish off the book. Like the session is over, but we can do the bookkeeping
Right. And
live.
so our next session will start with us flying the ship somewhere, like
Yeah, that's a
doing a.
good start.
Okay. So let's take a quick break.
So
Back.
uh, it's 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Is 8 minutes enough, or do you want a few extra?
That's fine. We'll try to come back right around 10, 11, whichever time zone you're in. And
Right.
then we'll go maybe another half hour and then call it.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. Yeah, another half hour
Good to
ish.
me.
All right.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Just finish off for tonight. Just going over, I guess, some bookkeeping and deciding what we're going to do next session. Do we want to? What were we going to do? Were we leveling up right away, or I think that
I think we can
yeah.
decide what we're using our points on.
So it's 2 points if you want to upgrade a current asset. It's
Yes.
3 points if you want to add a new one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we each have 4 to spend right now.
I really want to upgrade my shade, but I like the idea of getting gunslinger because I can use shadow for gunslinger. If I use my shade to cloak, then I can use gunslinger and get a +1 on it. Um, and then gain a momentum on a hit.
So you can gain some one this time, and then the other next time. Upgrade shade.
Yeah, if you're wanting to
Yeah.
get something new, then you'll have to then whenever you upgrade it, like level up again, you can upgrade
Yeah,
your shade.
that's what I'm saying. But that's where I'm at. Looking at
Yeah.
upgrading shade, or taking gunslinger. Those are my pretty much my choices.
Yeah, I say use 2 or 3 points now, and then save. So upgrade one. If you think we're gonna get into more combat, then yeah, take the gunslinger.
Well, with as many times as we get weak hits or misses, we're likely getting into combat again.
Right. I'm kind of looking the biggest thing so I'm kind of looking at explorer because as a scavenger and all that kind of stuff. But the only thing is this has to deal with the explorer waypoint move, which is specifically a wits roll, which is something I don't do a ton of because I only have a 1 in wits. So it's like it's useful in that like you gain momentum when you explore a waypoint, and you when you um, finish an expedition, you gain an additional um, tick on your track. So I don't know, like because
See,
I'm
that's more for me. I think explorer.
yeah. Let's see. Like I already have Blade Master, so I could up it again, or I was also looking at Empath.
Empath. You mean you're gonna pick up magic?
Um, it's when you read the intent, emotions, or memories of a nearby being. Roll heart. On a strong hit, you glimpse a helpful aspect of their inner self. You gain 2 momentum and a +1 for moves to interact with them. On a weak hit, you gain 1 momentum, and then on a miss, you reveal a troubling motive or secret and pay the price. That's the beginning ability for empath. So like I can interact better with people
Which
by
fits your yeah.
like reading their emotions before I interact with them. I can like so if we feel like we're gonna be in more social encounters, that might be useful. But it seems like we're looking at like the possibility of exploring some sort of ruins or wherever this like possible black iron deposit is. So I don't know how much interacting with people we're really going to be doing. I mean, we could spin it that way however we want to. I mean, but
Well, my thoughts on that are if this Alex guy is connected, like we got the information, heard somewhat of information from him, that
Right.
means it's known about. So not necessarily where we're going right now may not have people there, but eventually trying to track down this mine or this deposit or
Right.
whatever, we're gonna run into these people.
Whether that's a social encounter or a combat is to be seen, but
Yeah, exactly.
um I feel like we need to also like I would like to try to put more just in general. I would like to put more people into the story, more like
NPCs
more
and
ally
bonds.
yeah,
Yeah.
NPCs, bonds and stuff. I want to utilize that side of the game a little more. So um so that could empath could be useful for that as well. Um I think I am gonna take empath. I think I'm gonna spend my 3 points. Take empath. What are the other two for empath? As above, if you score a hit as you read them, you may subtly influence their attitude or actions, such as making a hostile being hesitate. Take another momentum in a fight. Mark progress. So basically, like if I do hit, and this just says if you score a hit, like either one, like weak or strong, then I can gain an additional momentum and like influence them to be more to do more what I want to do. And if I'm in a fight, like I gain like an advantage against them and mark progress, which is good. And then the third one is when you face danger to soothe a being's distress by creating an empathic bond, roll spirit and take a momentum on a hit. If they're an ally, also give them 2 spirit on a hit. So that one doesn't seem quite as useful, but the second one does for sure. So
Uh,
eh,
the tech path, which I don't have yet. When you make a move to configure, optimize, hack, or disrupt an electronic system, add +1. On a weak hit, you can choose to press your luck. If you do, re-roll all dice and add +2 instead of +1. Is there a move associated with press your luck or just something you do?
that's basically saying on a weak hit, you can either roll again and possibly do better,
Right.
or chance failing. Or you could take the weak hit and and have the partial success. Now that would be interesting. I don't know how well that would like. It would probably. I would. It sounds like it would stack with your gearhead as well.
Yeah, if there's a common
Yeah,
element, yeah.
but it specifically says electronic system as opposed to
Yeah,
like an item.
I think it'll be rare if it does interact, but it would potentially stack, but maybe not. Unless,
Yeah,
and I think they're designed not to.
yeah, because it seems like gearhead is more like small items and like
Yeah, modify
gear. Yeah,
equipment or technology a little different.
yeah.
I was looking at loyalist. When you aid your ally, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So instead of giving the ally +1, you're giving them a +2, and then you take and then you gain a moment. It says and take 1 momentum. This is in addition to the benefits taken by your ally.
Mhm.
So I gain a momentum, and the ally gets a +2.
What is that one? Loyalist.
Yeah, and the second one, you may burn momentum on behalf of an ally to improve their result.
That's cool. You end up with a lot of momentum.
Because yeah, it
Now,
seems to be
ally.
yeah.
Now, is ally the term for us? Is that what that is?
It says when you aid your ally, I guess it's a move.
Yeah, ally is the term for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. So that to me sounds like the ally gets +2, and
Plus
I
2 and yeah,
and I gain the momentum.
and you'll gain some momentum. Yeah,
Yeah, and then
because normally aid your ally says, um, when you act in direct support of an ally, envision how you aid them, then secure an advantage or gain ground. If you score a hit, they, instead of you, take the benefits of the move. If you gain ground and score a strong hit, you are both in control. On a weak hit, your ally is in control, but you are in a bad spot.
so what's
We've been
this?
doing combat slightly wrong, I feel like. We're supposed to track um, control and bad spot individually. So, like, one of us can be in control, and one of us can be in a bad spot. And, we've been doing it as a group. And I think so next time we do a combat, we got to remember that.
Look at secure an advantage.
Secure an advantage says you basically roll one of these things. On a success, you take 2 momentum and a +1 on the next move.
So what this says here is add +1 and take 1 momentum on a hit. So the +1 obviously is so to get it, instead of getting a +1 on your next.
No, actually, hmm, that sounds like you get to add a +1 to your aid the ally roll.
When you aid your ally, add +1. So I get a +1 to my roll to give them a +1.
And then if you hit, you gain a momentum on top of the benefit from the.
Okay, so
Yes.
so it's not an extra +1 to the ally. I gain a
Right.
+1 to my roll because I am good at helping people.
And then on a strong hit with a match, envision how it marks a breakthrough or milestone in your relationship, and we get to both. So basically, we get closer together because of this big help that you gave to me.
which is I think the next leg of this journey. We want to focus on bonds with NPCs, but why not allies?
Bond with each. Yeah, I don't think we technically have to do the make a bond, but yes, we as a group need to become closer together, and yeah, so for sure.
And then the
Um,
second one, you may burn a momentum on behalf of an ally, which makes sense.
yes.
Um, and when you stand with your ally as they make a progress move, envision how you support them. Then roll 1 challenge die. On a 1 to 9, your ally may replace one of their challenge die with yours. On a 10, envision how you inadvertently undermine their actions. Your ally must replace their lowest challenge die with yours.
So that could also possibly like put an issue there. Like if you like do so well, like you're like, I was supposed to be doing that, kind of. Um, so
Well, that's how I figure it with my wits. One of the aspect of wits is tactics and stuff. So I might and figuring things out. It's like, oh, you're gonna be shooting. You go, or you're stealthing. I think that's the best path to stealth. And maybe it
right.
is. Maybe and on a 10, it's not. It's like on one
Well,
to
on a
nine.
10,
On 1 to 9, do you listen to me? And if it was really good and they take it, and if it was a 10, it's like, fine, I'll listen to you, but it was like the wrong move.
it was the wrong move. Yeah, for sure.
That is very tempting to switch this character up and become to do that. Because I, as much as I like the sniper, it's essentially it's really
So
only
situational. Yeah, we'd
it's
have to like make the story work out so that you could use it.
it's basically in actual combat. I'm not going to be fighting.
Right.
I'm there here. If you guys need a +1, I try to help you.
So I
Which
think with that, then the
the
loyalist
loyalist,
would be helpful.
right? This is
Yep.
good for before or outside of combat, or if you guys are in combat and further, I'm at a distance and I can help you. It's the way to get me to fight without putting me in a fight.
Right.
Ooh, I should pick up a combat bot that I won't have to fight.
We can't have bots.
Oh, right. Damn.
We can't have AI. I guess there could technically be robots, but they can't be sentient. Can't have their own. They have to be more. I think the robots are more like I'm behind the computer pressing buttons and then the arm moves. That's what I think our robots in this world.
No, but when you strike aided by a bot, add +1. So it's basically to help me to fight.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
once per
Okay.
fight, yeah, okay. I think even though I'm the techie of the group, I think I'm gonna become the loyalist. Uh, yeah, I think I'm gonna grab loyalist. The question is, do I want the aid ally, or do I
Okay.
want the?
Now, when you take it, you have to take the first one.
Oh, right, right, right.
Then, when you upgrade it, you can choose which of the other two you want. Okay. So, in terms of what we're doing next, if we're pursuing something based off of what we overheard Alex Nadir talking about. He's apparently looking for something, is what we sort of determined that he's the reason he's been working with these pirates is because he's looking for something.
Well,
So
did we ever find out if he's working with the pirates or he's more of in command? Still looking for something, but is he controlling them
I
or working?
imagine it's more like he's funding them, like they can do what they want to on their own in their to like pillage and get the resources and make their own money that way. But keeping he's keeping the forge out of their hair, I imagine, in exchange for them looking for something from him.
Yeah, he's helped them either get started or he's giving them information or protecting them. Because technically, they are not our responsibility because they're not part of the forge in the original
Right.
colonies.
And it could also be like, I will help you, you'll help me, you stay out of the forge, I'll, like that way it's sort of like a big, you know, he probably heard about them or whatever and was like, they probably can help me with this. It'll be out from under the forge. The forge won't, have any jurisdiction here. So for himself purposes, So that's probably but the thing is if he's looking for something, is it something that is here in Solana Flux? Or is it something that he thinks might be coming to Solana Flux?
Well, I think he doesn't know where it is. He was hoping that they would have uncovered it. He may not. Was he? I'm trying to remember. Was he at the base? The
Yeah, we saw him at this pirate base.
I think
Where
maybe
we
he was on his way to. Um, he was on his way to the black market. What's it called?
Prism.
He's on his way to Prism, because that's where the other bunch of precursor tech was sent to.
Right.
Like he came here, gave him some information, discussed stuff, and now he's heading that way. And maybe we could try to intercept him or meet up.
Well, I don't think our main concern is him. I think if we overheard him talking about precursor or black iron and possibly a location, like a
Oh,
non like a different location.
he's on his okay. So he wants to check there first, then he's gonna try a location that. That's why he wants to check the items before they get sold off.
Right.
But we're gonna try to beat him to the next stop on his journey.
Because he may have like a suspicion about where it could be, but maybe he's got these pirates checking to make sure no one else has gone and gotten it before he could get there or something like that. Like he knows
Right.
roughly where it could be, So the question is are we rolling up a whole new sector?
I think we, because we messed up with that one pirate ship, I don't think we want to go to the black
Rihanna
market. Yeah, right
or
now.
Prism or any of the yeah.
Yeah, Prism and stuff. I think maybe we should hope it's not. If it's there, he's already gotten. He's gonna be able to get there before us because
Yeah.
we spent
So
some time
we
going over our items.
right.
Maybe we spent a few days. So I think we're trying to deviate from there, hoping he's there for long enough, and we're gonna try to make it to the
The other
precursor ruins, and then hope he doesn't meet us there.
okay. So we're looking for an Outlands sector. We're rolling a third sector here, right? We're assuming it's not going to be in his sector, otherwise.
I think this should be a, either an outside sector that we don't have not been to before, at least not that may not even have a lot of like a lot. It's not someone that's a lot of people go to.
Yeah, I think maybe it probably does need to be technically under the jurisdiction of the Forge. I think that would be okay. But okay.
I or it's either on the outskirts of Forge territory where it's not been explored, but I think it's better if it's outside because then it will be more of a reason.
Maybe it's not settled, but I think it's technically owned by the Forge, but it's not settled yet. It's not like fully like there's not major cities and stuff here. There might be like small settlements of people like camping or that kind of stuff. Okay. So I rolled as a sector name Stygian Cluster.
I like that.
If y'all don't I don't know if y'all are familiar with what Stygian is.
I know the Stygian Abyss from
So
Ultima Underworld.
So Stygian refers to iron that was forged in the river Styx. So this it's a Greek thing.
So,
Um, it was quenched in the river Styx. It's extremely
oh,
strong,
that's
powerful.
that's a very good name for what we're trying to find.
Yeah. So Stygian cluster. You want to roll a peril and an opportunity for this sector?
Nathan, you want to do that? You didn't get to roll last time.
Yeah. I'm in the space
Yeah, I can do that.
oracles. Oracles at the top. Yeah. They're at the top, I think, of the section.
Well, I thought I knew where they were. Oh,
Right at the bottom.
oracles.
Oracle City.
I was in move. Sorry. Space.
And then peril and opportunity.
Investigate duty.
Um, what does that mean? Does this
Is
mean
this a peril for us or?
I would
Um,
think so? Is this
I guess my
maybe
question is: does it have to directly relate to us, or is it just something that?
it's a peril on at the in this sector? It's an issue that this sector has. I think the peril we rolled for the first one was space pirates.
Because I'm thinking that this could fit, and our whole the investigate duty or the investigate part to me could mean that um Alex is investigating this area for that mine. And if we're going to look for it as well, we may need to avoid being found during his looking for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I could re-roll, but that's what that sounds like to me.
I was thinking along similar lines that maybe the fact that this area is technically owned by the Forge, maybe there are people out here like surveying and like looking through this sector with the purpose of working towards settlements and things like that. So there are like government officials and people out here, and here we are, random scavengers poking around in this technically government owned areas.
We're
That's what I'm
not.
thinking.
But are we not allowed to do that?
I don't know.
Well,
That's what
you
I'm saying.
well
Maybe
you specifically are allowed. We're just tagging along with you.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that there's a difference in scavenging and like I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, that's kind of
scavenging
what
is
I
not
was.
commonly done on a settled world. It's usually an unsettled world. But if we're looking for something specific, it's like yes, we're allowed to as long as we're not going to cause
Trouble.
trouble. But we also don't want the marshal to find out, the guardian.
See, what I was thinking on what DJ said uh, is that we're allowed to be here. It's not like if we land on the planet and they see us, it's automatic trouble. But
Right.
what we're looking for may not
Yeah.
be allowed. We're not necessarily supposed to go find a mine full of black iron and just take it.
Right. We know as couriers and as people that technically are employed by the Forge that certain like black iron and precursor tech must be registered. It has to be like reported and like so much of it probably has to be turned in and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, from the ones that we found, if it
Right.
didn't have a legitimate owner, we could claim it.
Right. But it still had to be properly reported and
Yes,
properly
which is what we do.
registered. Right. So like that's the that's why a lot of people deal with that black market planet in Prism is because they don't have to report and register it. They can just take it and sell it and make their money and
We don't deal with them
right.
unless we're liberating some items and we spend money or whatever to acquire them, but then we still have to register it on our own if we want to continue holding our.
Our license.
Yeah, essentially.
So I mean you can roll it again and we can just keep that as like a like if we like that better.
Primary drive or generator malfunctions.
So this sounds more like a peril that we specifically encounter when we get here.
So, like on ours or on the planet side? Planet generator.
I mean, that could also be something like we run like they're running into issues on the planet or in this sector.
Because, yeah, when we were in the other place, the problem
I
was the
think this is
pirates.
more like I think this might be more like space perils, like because this is the space section. So let's go ahead and go to planet. Let's try that instead. We're looking at a Outlands planet. I'm gonna roll.
Planet side peril.
Yeah. What is a grave planet?
The Grave Planet would be interesting.
What does that mean? Is that like it's desolate or let me see what the book says about it. Let me pull the book up real quick. Iron reference guide.
What did you roll when you rolled the planet, Paul?
Let me see.
A grave world is a once thriving world, now a grim monument to a fallen civilization. That sounds awesome. That sounds like it's exactly what we're looking for. Like
Said you
this
wanted
is
to go ruins.
yeah, it's like it's this it was once this major civilization in the old world, in the precursor world. and now we're just now getting to it as the Forge, and it's desolate and ruined and all that kind of stuff. I love that. Let's do that.
Yeah, that works. The planet I rolled was Mira, where he's from, the main
Yeah.
colonized planet. This planet here is under that original colony's jurisdiction. It's one of their satellite ones. It could be in the same system. Just maybe.
If we want to put it in the same system, then we didn't need that Stygian cluster roll. If we wanted it to be in the Lacuna Shoals
Well, okay.
sector,
I can't. How did we figure out? So there were so many colony ships. I think did we 7 or 9?
there were 5.
5. Okay, 5 main colony ships, and then when they were they in different solar systems?
So each ship, basically, they had kind of formed a pseudo government on the ship while it was like flying. So when they got to the Forge, each like leader of the ships became a like council, I think. Let me make sure that
I have the notes here too.
um
Can we not write that down? Because like Solana Flux is in the Outlands, and there's 3 settlements.
yeah, that's the adepts or keepers, yeah, bounty hunters. We didn't write that down. We intended it to be that the um the ships were flung into this area with the faster than light, like the experimental FTL drives, and it caused the sundering, which is like a reality plague, essentially, that's sort of in the background. Like it's not a major threat yet,
Yeah.
but it's there.
So we can't use FTL drives anymore. So
Right.
we're stuck in the Forge, as we're calling it.
But I think we decided that there were 5 ships, and they took each ship and essentially divided the government up with each ship. And so like there's like a council of important people that make decisions for the Forge. Um and
Yeah, I think
so
every colony has their own rules, but then there's some general rules, and they help to govern the academy, the bounty
so
hunters.
we decided there were 5 there were going to be 5 official sectors of the Forge. The closest one in was going to be where the academy was or is. And then there's then there's going to be maybe 2 sectors, and then there's the 2 outer sectors, and then Solana Flux is a sector outside of that that is not under the Forge. So
Right.
so
Yeah, we never
we've
put it in
established now
detail,
that
I guess.
right, we established now that Lacuna Shoals is a sector is one of the civilized Forge sectors, and Alex Nadir is the marshal of one of the planets in this sector. So he's not the leader of the sector; he's the marshal of the planet Mira in that sector. So he doesn't hold a ton of power, but he has some amount of responsibility as a marshal.
He's there.
So do
I guess there is no. I think he is the. I think we said the marshals are the leaders.
they're
Uh,
the sort of they're the
or they're more
leaders of the no, because the planets have governors.
right.
Which are so there's the governor and the marshal, and they work together to protect and govern each planet. Um, and then the sector itself has a like official that reports to the sort of council. They are a council of the sector leaders that make decisions for the Forge as a whole. Um, so it would just be down to, do we want this planet that we're planning on going to be in Lacuna Shoals, just a planet that's not Mira, or do we want it to be in another one of the other sectors, one of the other 5 sectors?
I think here's the thing. If he has any way of going there, he it should be like, obviously he was in
Solana
Solana
Flux.
Flux,
The
but that
Flux,
wasn't
but it's
official.
probably, yes, and it's probably only like one sector over.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah, no, it's not that he can't leave. Like, so he was,
right,
but he shouldn't be going to someone else's sector when his mission is to keep his
protect Mira,
sector
yeah,
safe.
and specifically his planet. Like that's the, like there's a marshal
Oh,
on each planet.
so it's not Lacuna Shoals. He should be more or less on Mira and keeping.
Mira and Lacuna Shoals is the, like, if you want to call it, solar system or sector that Mira is a part of. So we can put this planet in Lacuna Shoals. I don't care. That's fine with me. It'll just be a second planet, sort of an unsettled planet.
So, the colony ship landed on Mira, and it colonized
Essentially,
Mira.
they
Uh,
want to make Mira the capital. That's fine.
oh,
I'm okay with
okay.
that.
So whatever the capital is, and then all
I'm
the
okay
other.
with Mira being the capital.
It doesn't seem like it's one of the best. It's probably the on the most shaky ground, I guess, because
And that's fine too. Like, I think that, here, I'm gonna roll a name for this planet. Kerr. The planet's name is Kerr. Simple. It's kind of primitive sounding anyway. So
so what did we? So
Kerr.
so we're not using Stygian anymore.
Not right now. We can. I'll put it down here as like a random thing.
Because that sounded a very good place
Roll
to find
ideas.
an old settlement, I guess.
We can utilize that somewhere as we see fit. Um. So we've got Kerr. Um. I'm gonna go ahead, instead of rolling settlements, I'm gonna say that there are like camps here, maybe like official, like Forge official camps, like they're doing surveys or something like that to sort of see about possibly colonize, or not colonize, but settling this planet officially. So I'm gonna put, and you got that, Nathan. Planet side features.
We decided on the atmosphere.
Um, I don't. I kind of want it to just be fine. you know, that way
Nothing wrong with it. Just breathable atmosphere.
it's breathable atmosphere. Yeah. So planet side feature, expansive terrain. I like that because it's like a desolate wasteland. And then what did it say? Scarred battlefields. Same thing. Yeah, that's, I like that. And then I can just, I'll say that we add to that that there are like ruins, like precursor, like with like the language like carved into it, that kind of stuff. Um,
So the question is, why are they trying to colonize Kerr? Sure, it's breathable, but does it have
I
resources that are beneficial to a colony?
I think it could be maybe more like just space. They know there's a lot of space on this planet. There's a lot of room, and so they're willing to do the work to make the planet livable. in exchange for the fact that it's just sort of like a blank slate and they can make this planet whatever they need it to be. Um, I see that you already rolled an opportunity on this planet. Foe reveals themselves or tips their hand. I like
Yeah, I
that. That
rolled
we,
a peril too.
yeah, treacherous or arduous path. That works too. Like to get to where we're trying to like go, it's like
We've
actually
had one of those
difficult.
already. Do we want to do that one again, or do we want to just stick to that? I mean, it's fine with me. I'm just wondering. I just know from watching you guys
Did
set
we
the
roll the
setting
same
that you've
thing?
you've used this before.
Oh, then yeah, then roll that one again. Maybe we'll corrupted or mutated life form. There's some sort of ancient like species of creature that lives on this planet that we have to deal with.
What if
Okay.
they don't know about it yet?
That also could be like
Yeah.
maybe we think that this whole planet is completely desolate,
Well, because I
but
noticed you rolled.
I rolled life extinct and then I rolled it again and then I rolled it scarce.
That's what I
So
was looking at.
maybe it's like they think that there's nothing that lives here.
And but what it is some of these ruins that are buried, that have to be excavated to actually get to. That's where whatever this thing
That
is.
they like live underground or like yeah, like tremors. There's some sort of
Oh,
like
great. Yeah, let's go with that.
yeah. Um
I was thinking about those things from Kong Skull Island.
Didn't watch that one.
I hadn't seen them either. But
Uh, so basically, all it has going for it is that there's lots of room. There's not a lot of life, so there's probably not even a lot of trees or insect life. So basically,
right.
they're trying to small scale terraform.
Right. They're wanting to see I guess it's probably more of experimental as well. They're trying to see can this planet be sort of revitalized and shaped to what they want it to be. As well as I'm sure there are crews that are probably exploring these ruins, probably groups of like adepts and people trying to like gain information more, because there's people that are always trying to gain more information about the precursors. So I'm sure there are people here surveying and trying to gain as much information as possible. And maybe that's how Alex found out about it is that maybe they found a ruin that maybe they couldn't get into it or they like were picking up certain types of readings from this area that they haven't fully explored yet and maybe that's what he's like trying to
So
get.
we need someone who is authorized to go into to form an expedition. Do we know anyone? Uh,
um
Buzzard?
I we might I'm let's see.
No, no, I meant you.
Oh, me? Yeah, I mean, I'm technically authorized for scavenging.
Yeah.
I have my scavenger's license. So
So
like,
you could uh, come down 3 iron sworn with one of them with a license. We could have a reason to be down here, like legitimately, and want we pick those ruins.
okay, well, I rolled a person,
Uh,
and
a contact of yours?
yeah, I think it's somebody maybe from this sector that I know would probably be involved in a like a ex- what's the word I'm looking for? A task like this of settling a new planet or like exploring and maybe it's a friend from the academy that was training to be like an adept or something that maybe would be keyed in on this sort of research of these ruins. and maybe we get in touch with them, send out a signal or whatever to be like, hey, um, we're in the area. Do you know of any things that we can go? Do you have any work or any like possible things that you need explored, or we could even try to spin this more like we're just looking for work as opposed to like we have an idea already. Let's go
Well, you can say, is
get
there?
in on the government side so that we're less out of their we're sort of on their side and not.
Well, we can also say, if is that ruin that looks unexplored, you might we'll take a look if it needs
Yeah,
it.
like so, either way. So I think that would be good. So let me write that name down. Oh, Joran Stollard. I think she was somebody that oops, sorry. Um Buzzard ally um adept in this sector. That way we just have somebody to try to contact with. Maybe we can use this as an opportunity to try to form some sort of bond with them and go from there. I think that'll kind of give us an in.
Are
So I
they
think the first thing
are they a scavenger as well?
I think they're an adept. I think they're like a researcher. They're like they're
Right.
somebody that like studies precursor tech specifically. Like that's what they went to the academy to learn and to do was to study not just precursor tech but precursor like civilization, like ruins and language and that kind of stuff. So that's probably like I know that this is something it may be like um maybe I know just from the academy from like the last time I talked to her that she had mentioned being stationed in Lacuna Shoals, like in the Lacuna Shoals sector doing research and knowing that that's where we're going, I can like hit her up and be like, "Hey, was wondering we're going to be in the area, you know, any good scavenging spots that we should know of or and go from there." So, that's I think that's probably
So would this planet have a marshal then?
maybe not yet. I don't think maybe they wouldn't be assigned a marshal yet. They're not fully settled yet. So
So so Mira has a marshal, Kerr has an
yes,
adept, sort of running it.
she's there probably just doing. There's probably like a team of like people from the Forge that were sent there by maybe by whoever the leader of Lacuna Shoals is. Like, hey, we need a team to come and to work in this area, a group of scientists and
But would Joron
um,
be the lead adept on this planet?
maybe I would think that she would definitely be highly qualified for a planet like this to look into that kind of stuff.
Because also three Iron Sworn bounty hunters and one being a scavenger, probably a sought after commodity in this area to keep. They may not, since they don't
Right.
have a marshal. We are the next best thing.
See, and I don't. The thing about bounty hunters, like we're not like licensed bounty hunters. We're
Oh
not
yeah, we're
actually.
not the. So yeah, I was using that. Yeah,
Yeah.
bounty hunter is actually a
Yeah.
thing. They
Right.
are. Um, bounty hunters are like cell swords type of thing.
Yeah.
They
We're more like we're couriers and
we're not even official couriers
scavengers.
either.
I
I think
think we probably have a courier's license, like a basic courier's license. We didn't like study to be couriers necessarily.
so. I
Um,
think what. Okay, I'll write this down because I started writing down a few things. like what guardians are, what healers and adepts are, what are bounty hunters, paragons. That's actually all three of us, I guess, are
Magic
paragons, magic users.
magic users.
Which you can be a healer and a paragon, or a guardian and a paragon too. They're not.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to
Paragon
be.
is more like a personality
Yeah,
type thing, less of a role.
yeah. As I said, you can't. You're not going to be a guardian and a healer, but you could be a paragon, a guardian with paragon abilities.
Right.
So Iron Sworn is a separate
Yeah.
thing. Not
That's
all.
like
You don't have to be an Iron Sworn to be a bounty hunter or a scavenger.
right. That's sort of an individual, like a choice you make as an individual to become an Iron Sworn.
I think that they are part of the Forge, but they're also like a. Did we say they're a loose organization or they're more formal?
It's I think it's more like more loose, more like they know that whether this was something that like we wouldn't necessarily have brought it from the old world because there wouldn't have been black iron there,
Right.
but they're um I think maybe this was sort of the remnants of possibly like this stemmed from the remnants of whatever religion there was because we know that we abandoned the formal religion of our people when we left. So maybe this formed from the sort of remnants of the old religion, um, and it's more like Ironsworn are generally people that like have a disposition to help people, um, not necessarily they're not necessarily like lawful good type people, but they have a disposition to be helpful in some way, whether that's like we helped bring these pirates down, not really to help any specific person, but more so that we could go back to this place and utilize it the way we like to use it. Like that's why we took down the pirates for ourselves, but we knew it would be helpful to the whole area.
Maybe it's some remnants of the old religion with something with the precursors. It's a combination of everything because it has to do with the black iron. So it's a combination.
Right, and there could have been maybe some sort of like with the like because I feel like because of that sundering that we that maybe that was also part of the reason that not adepts that paragons exist, like from that this sort of mutation or something allowed people to sort of gain access to magical abilities, and maybe because of that there was a specific person or small group of people who had gained those paragon abilities that like almost prophesied or like caught a glimpse and like created the Iron Sworn as like I said, I don't think it's a formal like we don't have like meetings and that kind of stuff, but it's like it people
It
in the forge are aware that there are people that swear iron vows and do generally good things, and so I think and there probably I'm sure are people that disagree with the Iron Sworn that they feel like maybe they're
too much
step
power
down, too much
or
power, too
leeway.
much yeah, more like a vigilante type,
I
situation.
see them as if the since it's not exactly parallel to our Earth, but we could say they were sort of Knights Templar
Kinda.
originally, and then they evolved into something different, the Iron Sworn. Basically, came across like with the precursor knowledge and the black iron, which is from the precursors, and perhaps maybe the sundering paragon stuff as well, because if you have paragon abilities, there's a good chance you're probably going to go become an Iron Sworn too. It's just a minor
Right.
ability or something. Because the fact that we have three Iron Sworn here and we are all paragons.
right. Which, like I said, that also could the Paragon thing may also have something to do with the Black Iron. Like
Well, I
you
think
know,
you were right. The sundering. So maybe we caused the sundering. Maybe because of our FTL and the black iron deposits
yeah,
caused the sundering.
it reacted to the Black Iron in the area and
Right.
caused an issue. Yeah.
And then that's what the fractures of reality are. What's the source of the paragon abilities?
Right.
So yeah, until we find out, if we find a way to repair the fractures, which most likely would be the end of paragons, that's the only way we probably get FTL back, or we find
A different
wa-
way to use it.
a
Yeah.
different way to use a different form of faster than light travel.
Right. Okay, so I think our plans for next session are travel to Kerr in the Lacuna Shoals sector and try to get with what's her name? Uh, Jurin Stallard, an adept, to see about exploring some ruins, some precursor ruins, in hopes to figure out whatever Alex Nadir is looking for and maybe claim it for ourselves before he gets a chance to get a hold of it. I think that's our next sort of game plan and see where that takes us. Okay,
Anything you
what's
want to add to that, Nathan, or anything? Uh, Character or area?
I don't think so. I'm kind of excited for this planet. I rolled a creature. I don't know if we actually want to use it. I was just kind of messing with the roll
what'd
charts
you get?
and small dog-sized creature. That's like in beast or mammal basic form. Your first look, it has distinct markings. It's a forager and it has regeneration.
Ooh.
I love it.
Yeah, copy it into the
In
to the document.
are you in the doc?
I'm not sure.
We'll share it.
Yeah.
I'll send you a
Yeah.
link to it.
Just keep that up, and we'll send you a link, and we'll get there. Um. So. Here, let me.
I put the link in chat.
Did you? Okay.
I think you had
Got
it
it.
at one point because you would have to give basically the world truths and everything.
Okay. So we're looking at the third right now, September 3rd. Be 2 weeks on Saturday.
Yeah, the third is currently the date. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
Should work
unless
for me.
something yeah, unless something comes up, that should be the date.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. One point we had Bad Raven, Wolfden, Wolf of Hella. Let's see, and also I think I saw Emerald Raven at one point. We have Sophia Fox, Sandaika, Anna Banana, Alexis the Nexus. Like thank everyone. Who may watch us at a future point or have joined us. And yeah, as I said, look forward to next session in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Anything you want to plug? I know Nathan has a home game that he streams, and it's also with the Jarl of Goats in his campaigns.
Yeah, we're Wednesday nights is usually Curse of Strahd night. The last 2 weeks we've done community nights where we've played Among Us and Jackbox party packs. Because we've had players and or DM out. I think this next Wednesday we're gonna jump back into Curse of Strahd, and it may very well be our last session. We're on our way to face Strahd right now, and depending on how long that takes, will depend on how much longer the campaign lasts. We're thinking 1 to 2 more sessions, maybe, depending on how it goes, and it'll be our not only the first campaign that we finish on stream, but it'll be actually be most of our group's first campaign that we've ever actually been able to finish and play fully through. So that's exciting. And then directly after that game on Wednesday nights, I go over on Jarl of Goats channel to play in the Death of Deities campaign, playing my first ever bard over there and having a lot of fun. Had a big character realization about him last week well, this week, I guess, that I didn't really plan for in character creation, but it just kind of fit the story. So his whole persona that I had viewed is completely different than it was when I started, which is it's great character development for me. So
The only thing I'm gonna pseudo plug, we sort of talked about it over on the AbTab page a little bit. Paul and I are working on our own game. We are
Yes.
working we're working on a black hack mecha hack called as of right now we're calling it Mage Hack. It's going to be about different types of arcane magic users, and that's the plan. So we're working on it. We're hopefully going to be ready to play test here in a couple of weeks or so as we get some more details ironed out, and then so we
Yeah, I
might.
think the bulk of it is close to being ready. Yeah, for play testing, and then it's just the final details, tweaking it and stuff. So
This sort of uh, what we've got so far sort of came together in a fury. We were trying to get this ready for Drive Through RPG had a um, game design challenge that was due by the 1st of August. Obviously, we didn't make that deadline, but it actually opened it up for us to make a few changes that we felt bound by their design restrictions, and now that we're not doing that, we can sort of open the game up a little bit more to what we wanted it to be, and so we're hoping that it turns out the way we want it to, and very inspired by um, in a way inspired by like the Percy Jackson series as well as the Dresden Files, and it's sort of this idea. The original idea was that it was going to be based around a camp for like teens, and we'll probably keep that as like a setting idea. But it's a modern fantasy RPG that's like these different types of wizards that have different major abilities, and it's shaping up to be something really cool.
yeah, it's
So
nice. It's yeah, focusing more on magic users than like with Mecha Hack. You have ranged and melee combat. We're going to focus more on I guess spell casting for the most part. Uh, so made a few changes, base stuff, but I think there were some really good choices, good changes that we made. Well, yeah, I said thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Bye.